Hey everyone, Derek here. Let's talk about Python List Comprehensions. So what is a Python List Comprehension? All it is a way for us to take some iterable object, such as a list, and create a new list using it. Let's talk through an example. So here we have an iterable object, right? We have a list in Python. And we know it's a list because it's got these two square brackets on the end of it. We could say something like, a new list is equal to b, right? And then we could say, for every element in that list of A, we could do some operation on that element. So we could say C, which is a new value, is equal to I plus 2. So we're going through our list and we're taking each element and adding 2 to it, right? Now we could say b.append C. What this will do is when we execute this through a terminal, is create a new list called B. Once we do that, we see that we're creating a new list. This is not a list comprehension. However, what we can do with the list comprehension is essentially the same thing as this for loop. Instead of creating this for loop, we can do all of this in one line. We'll create a random new variable. I'll just say D in this example. We do a list comprehension by saying 2 square brackets. Now, instead of creating a for loop, so let's say something like I plus 2. Now we need to declare that iterable. So for I, and then in the same way that we declare it in this for loop, we say for I in whatever object we want to iterate through. Now, if we were to say print D, we should get back the same thing, but instead of using a for loop, we're using a list comprehension. So let's save and execute that. We see that we get back the same thing, and that's all that a list comprehension is. Sometimes here at the end of a list comprehension, we can add a conditional if we want to. So we could say something like, if I, so for each iterable in this is, let's just say something like less than 7. Now when we save this, we should only get back values that were originally below 7, which we do. Is there any reason to use one over the other in most cases? Not really. There really isn't. The speed is usually about the same in both of them, so just use whichever one you're more comfortable with. In my personal opinion, this one is much more readable, so I tend to use for loops. But if you like this one better, go for it. And that's it for this one. Pretty simple, right? If you have any questions or comments, as always, please let me know. Until next time.